You're not hearing everyone say, oh, hey, you'll get them next time. Hey, don't worry about it. All that stuff just goes right out the window. You're right back out on the field with a chance to atone.
First down yardage on the first play of the drive. Give him 14. Although his reputation as a speedy runner precedes him, it's always fun to watch him work.
It is eye-opening, isn't it? Because when you see him get the ball and just go, in addition to that speed, it helps out his blockers. They don't have to hold blocks for long because he's just going to speed right past them.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete.
Absolutely no disguise on that one. They just went for it. Put him out there and said, go deep. Let's try and hit him. Unfortunately, to no avail.
There we go.
So line of scrimmage still the 39 on 2nd and 10. And they go play action now. Burrow. And a quick throw here. That's complete. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5. This defense for the Chiefs, terrific last week in the season-opening victory.
And one of the key things you always look for when you're evaluating a defense is how opportunistic are they? How many takeaways do they get per game? And how about last week's game? That number? 6. Absolutely phenomenal performance. They were on top of their game right from the first snap.
On 3rd down, Mixon. And he gets it down to the 48, enough for the first.
I definitely like the play call. You don't expect it on 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6, do you? You expect a pass play. Had a little courage there to call the run, and boy, they were successful.
I'm wondering.
So now 1st and 10 in Chiefs territory at the 48-yard line. Out of the gun, it's Burrow. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And they're going to get this to about the 44-yard line.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
On 1, ready? 11, coming.
From the 44, Burrow. His throw incomplete.
How about that? Red man coverage and decided to test him early, but they proved up to the task and forced the incompletion.
Seventh play of the drive upcoming here on 3rd and 6. They'll bring a receiver in motion right. On 3rd down, Burrow. He'll drop this one down to Mixon. And he is going to have a Bengals first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Well, they've certainly done a nice job spreading the ball around on this drive. This time he gets it out to his back, and it's another nice play and another first down. They've got the defense on their heels a little bit. They're reacting instead of being aggressive and making plays.
And Burrow going to throw again. And he's taken down, a Chiefs sack. That was Nick Bolton rushing in and burying him behind the line. Not the start to this one that any quarterback would want or envision. Remember, he had the pick 6, and here he ends up on his backside.
Yeah, and you have to wonder to yourself, okay, after throwing the pick 6, did he get too careful with the football and not deliver downfield and take that sack? They've got to make sure that he's really into this game.
They'll get 4 back there on the run, but now they're looking up at a 3rd and 12 situation.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
Now Burrow. And he will find his man on the outside. And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means fourth down.
Well, don't tell any defensive coordinator I played for, but that might be considered a win for both teams because defensively they stopped them short and forced the fourth down. But offensively, they picked up enough yards to give their kicker a better shot if that's what they want to do.
They'll try and run with Mixon. And this is going to be nowhere close. Needed some inches and ended up losing yardage. Denied on fourth down is Joe Mixon. And the Chiefs defense comes up with a stop. And defensively, they were ready for that, a full-on blitz on fourth down, and they stop him short of the marker.
Oh, and someone's got to feel really good about that, and that's the defensive coordinator. He dialed up a great run blitz defense, and they hit it just right. Stack that thing up. They're going to feel awesome going to the bench after that big play.
He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Here's Mahomes to throw. Taking a deep shot here for Hardman. And he's got it inside the 10. And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. Butker now to add the extra point. And it's good, and they have jumped out here to a quick 14-0 first quarter lead. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback.
Here we go.
The Bengals drive about to get going. They find themselves in a good-sized hole here, and a good-sized hole early on in this game as they come up on first down. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Here's Burrow setting up to throw it. This goes out wide for Mixon. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. They'll give him 4 yards there. And that'll leave him with a 3rd and 2.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get out to your running back, and it could turn into a big gain downfield. But what a nice job they did getting to him quickly and holding him to a short gain.
3rd and 2, now Burrow. Pass thrown right back to Joe Mixon. And boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. Blake Gillikin on to punt now on 4th down. And he'll get off a fairly short kick here as this is toward the sideline. And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. They've got things going their way early. 14-0 lead and the football. 1st and 10. A quick throw there going to be batted away and incomplete.
Quarterbacks work all the time on manipulating a defense with their eyes and their head movement. In this case, he just stared the receiver down. That allowed for excellent coverage, able to knock that one away.
2nd and 10 from the 33-yard line. Now Mahomes. And this one caught by Travis Kelce. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. First catch on that one for Kelce, and it's a first down.
And what a nice example there of a tight end doing exactly what he needs to do. How about how he worked his way to the outside, made sure he secured the catch, and then anything after that, we count that as a bonus. And indeed, he gets enough for the first down.
And he's finally taken down, and it's a big gain there on what will turn out to be the final play of this first quarter. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL. So they'll come up in Bengals territory now with a 1st and 10 at the 30-yard line. From the gun, they'll try to run it. And the Chiefs are 1-0 on the year following the win in Week 1. And they've gotten a pretty good deal from the schedule makers as well. Home dates in Weeks 1 and 2.
And I would believe that they would need to take advantage of that, partner, because as you can imagine, the road dates will pile up later this season. So this is a great opportunity for them to put some early distance on the rest of the division and create a little bit of a cushion for them for later in the year.
Open man here. It's the tight end, Kelsey. And the Chiefs are going to have a 1st and goal coming up as the tackle made at the 3-yard line.
Just picking up yardage in bunches here these last few plays. They have moved right down the field, and just like that, they're going to be set up with a 1st and goal.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And the D not yielding much there. He's only going to get a yard to about the 2.
Definitely an important sequence here for this defense. They've had their share of struggles in this first half. They just cannot afford to give up another touchdown here.
From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. He'll try again. And good work there defensively as they're able to keep him out of the end zone. They follow up the 1st down 1-yard run with a minimal gain of 2.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
This Bengal defense, they passed the first 2 tests. Now it's 3rd and goal. Now Mahomes on the bootleg. So they hit pay dirt, but don't count it yet. There's laundry on the field. We'll see what the penalty flag is about. That one's on the former Patriot, Joe Thuney. The holding penalty, that puts them in an unenviable spot here as they try again on 3rd and goal. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And a good rally to the football there as it looks as if they're going to stop him a couple yards shy of the marker. He couldn't quite find the goal line, but a good run of 8 yards is going to make it an interesting 4th and goal now. They'll go for it. It's Mahomes. They go with a shuffle pass, and it's complete. He's going to be stopped shy of the end zone. They get the completion but cannot push forward into the end zone, and the Bengals are going to get the football back.
Here we go.
The Bengals drive about to get going. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive, but at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer, and make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Still 2nd quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay. And he will forge his way forward only up to the 2-yard line. The 2nd down play not much better than the first. Just a gain of 1 there. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
Burrow from his own end zone. He's going to float this one deep right side. This is intercepted. Picked up by Justin Reed. And the Chiefs are going to take possession of the football. Well, that one was in the air for an agonizingly long time.
Just begging to be picked off, wasn't it? It's one thing if you're throwing a ball like that, trying to throw someone open or lead them into an area. But that ball needed to be thrown with a lot more conviction. As a result, it's an easy interception.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up second and 11.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
After the loss to start out, here's second and 11. Two minutes to play, first half. It's 14-0. They'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. And he'll be brought down just outside of the 30. So that time they got the left guard with a hold.
And let's face it, in today's ball, you might have that 330-pound guy you're supposed to clear out of there. You might need a little bit of extra help by grabbing the jersey and trying to ride him out.
Now they face a second and long following the holding penalty. On play action, it's Mahomes. The Bengal pressure gets him that time. Down he goes. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. The Bengals with 2 extra DBs, a nickel look on third.
Blanketing the passing lanes.
Throwing now is Mahomes. Hauled in over the middle by Rager. On the move past the 40. And the tackle going to be made at the 38. Now a second timeout called for by the defense, as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And he has got it from 55 yards away. That was never in doubt. And that will extend their lead even further. Well, they already had the early lead, and they get the interception, Charles, and now they add 3 more with the field goal.
Yeah, they're in control of how this game is playing out so far. You mentioned the early lead. Now they're expanding on it, getting plays on both sides of the ball. A winning recipe if they can keep this up.
The Bengals drive about to get going. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
You don't want to.
Well, no, but let me finish.
Okay.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
2nd and 10 now, Burrow. Oh, great grab by Chase. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Here's Burrow. And incomplete, a drop there in the middle third of the field. That'll bring up 2nd down. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better. Got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They've got to find a way to bring those 2 elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
Now, meanwhile, here's a 2nd down throw that's knocked away and incomplete.
Nice back-to-back plays defensively. They're stacking momentum now. One incompletion, two incompletion. They're going for more.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Throwing again, it's Burrow. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked up by Michael Ojemudia. And the Chiefs are going to have great field position here as this is returned just shy of midfield. He's at it again, Charles. He had the pick 6 last week. Not a pick 6 here, but an interception.
It's another Oski, because that's the word we use when we intercept a pass. Oski tells your team to rally around and block for you. Well, that worked really well last week because he had made it all the way to the end zone. This week he got the Oski, maybe not a touchdown, but boy, he's playing really well.
Rolling to his right. Complete. The tight end, Kelsey. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. A lot of effort there for just a 3-yard gain, and now 2nd down. He was out there waving his arms, and when you got a quarterback out of the pocket looking for any help, I guess waving the arms is helpful.
It certainly is, because you got to get his attention, because now you're in scramble drill. So everyone's adjusting their routes, finding open space, and he found the right spot for the completion.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Mahomes. And Shark calls it in. The Chiefs will use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. They go play action. Now Mahomes. Completes it to Hardman. And they're going to get this down to about the 17-yard line here.
Simple drag route here, lined up out left and tried to work his way back across the field. You probably saw me twitch there, partner, because I think he wanted the ball a little bit sooner. By the time he looked it in, defender was right on him.
From the 17, Mahomes. A quick throw, knocked away, and incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Again, they'll throw with Mahomes. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. Problems on 3rd down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on 3rd down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get to 3rd down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards up 1st and 2nd down.
Butker's kick here is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So the turnover leads to points as they add 3 there.
Yeah, what a sequence there, and a nice one for them. They force the interception, put together a little drive, and then come away with 3 points. Nothing to it, partner. Just do it.
And he won't quite make it to the 25.
Here we go.
The Bengals drive about to get going. And with a 3-score deficit staring him in the face, they might have to press the issue here and try to get points out of this drive. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Pass incomplete, but the flag in the backfield, and this might be a roughing call. Well, Charles, sometimes we talk about the lengths officials sometimes go to protect star quarterbacks, but that was tough to argue against.
Yeah, and I'm sure that everyone's going to say, hey, we're going to administer the penalty the same way for all quarterbacks. But when it's a star back there, even more so are they going to be diligent about throwing the flag.
And they're going to get this up to midfield.
Here we go.
From midfield now, Burrow. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked up by Michael Ojemudia. And the Chiefs will take over here as they get it up to the 43-yard line.
Well, this is just crazy. He's got 3 interceptions, Charles, and we haven't even departed the first half of this ballgame.
I think if you're looking at the stats right now, you're saying, all right, who's the leading receiver? Well, can you flip it around and say that maybe he is and could be for the game the way that things are going right now? I think if it's him, he wants to be on the field at all times.
And a solid run here as he'll pick his way down to the 42-yard line. So we've come upon halftime here in KC with the Chiefs on top as we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach.
And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the third quarter. Ready for the start of the third quarter. The Chiefs have the lead and set to receive the football. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. And Charles, they've got the lead. Put your coaching hat on here now. What's the game plan for the second half?
I think getting the running game going a little bit more because I thought in the first half they didn't get it moving the way that they would like. They had success throwing it, but I think these first couple of drives, they'll want to get those running backs going and give them more opportunities, and I will guarantee you that those guys were lobbying for them in the locker room at halftime.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material.
Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
On every offensive coordinator, every play caller sheet, they have about 5 or 6 plays per game that they call shot plays or big plays, and you don't get many opportunities to dial them up, and they just did, and they drop it with a great chance to make a big play. That's going to hurt.
Now a deep ball there on second down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
The best receivers we know always tease their quarterbacks that, hey, no matter what you do, you cannot overthrow me. Well, guess what? That's exactly what happened on that play. Normally, they time it up pretty well, but on that one, he just overshot him.
Throwing is Mahomes on third.
This ball complete to Rager.
And he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line. Just his second catch of the game so far. This one moves the chains.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space. And it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
Quick throw knocked away. It's incomplete.
Well, a momentary speed bump there with that throw partner. The defense had other ideas, and they're trying to mount a small stand before this drive reaches the end zone.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. To throw, it's Mahomes. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. The Clemson product, DJ Reader, got in for the sack. Gonna need better protection here. 3rd and long following the sack from Mahomes and company. They'll set up to throw. He's got his man. That's Hardman. And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals 14. Able to convert on 3rd and 14. A terrific play call.
With the kind of game he's had so far, you had to know that on 3rd down that they would be looking his way, and they did, for big yardage and a first down. I think the defense fell asleep at the switch on that one. I would have doubled him, tripled him, anything to keep the ball out of his hands.
On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. And they get to him quickly here as he's stopped right around the 13. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And this time they were waiting for him as he'll be knocked down before he can get back to the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard, so it's back to 3rd and 10. They go play fake. Mahomes. Quick hitter here. It's complete. And they will get to him at the 7 and stop him short of the first down marker. That'll go for a gain of 7. And it'll be 4th down.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. And I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the first down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
And being rightly cautious with that lead here in the second half.
And they picked up right where they left off in the first half. First drive after the break, they come away with 3 and increase that lead.
Yeah, and you just want to keep building on that lead, don't you? Whether it's 6 points or 3 points, take everything you can get, keep maneuvering, keep adding to it, keep making it difficult for them to come back.
The Bengals drive about to get going. Now, they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. Terrific run from one of the fastest backs in the game today. A guy who keeps defensive coordinators up at night, no doubt.
Remember when we were meeting with the D coordinator before the game and all he talked about was run fits, making sure our guys were in the right place so there were no creases?
They missed their fits, didn't they?
Yeah, there was no fit there. The only fit was at the end when he threw his headset down after that big run.
11. On second down, here's Mixon. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line.
Work to do here to avoid falling to 1-1, but this is 1st and 10 right now.
They'll bring a receiver in motion left. From the red zone now, here's Burrow, first down. And it is caught at the 7-yard line.
And the Bengals are going to have a 1st and goal coming up as the tackle made at the 3-yard line.
Burrow will throw. Flushed out right. And a big loss here as he's taken down.
That's George Karlaftis who fought his way through the line to bury him.
That I'm struggling to understand a little bit. That close to the goal line, first down, run the football. If you want to throw it, throw some play action on second down.
Throwing on second and long. Burrow. And this is caught at the 8. A nice job to get 11 out of that pass play, but now they face a 3rd and goal.
He's had the interception woes in this one, Charles, and that time a little bold to throw it into double coverage, but he beat the double coverage.
Yeah, but I admire that he still will challenge defenders downfield, even though the ball's been in jeopardy a few times in this game.
Touchdown!
Joe Mixon.
His 2nd touchdown on the season.
And the Bengals are able to cut into this deficit here in the final minute of the 3rd.
Good start to the season for him. He had the touchdown last week in the opener and a 2nd one in week 2 now.
How about the pace he's already established, right? Not sure he can keep it up for an entire season, but don't burst the bubble because he thinks that he can.
Do guys go into a season with a goal for touchdown scored or yardage? What do you think?
I think every single one of the guys who's going to touch the football, they all have those types of goals. They all have those types of thoughts. And then they just have to see how the season unfolds if they can stay with it.
Unfolding so far so good for him. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. Their lead down to 2 scores after the touchdown a moment ago as they start with a 1st and 10. It'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But The main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
And he'll go down, and that will do it for the third quarter of action. 1 quarter remains here as we wrap up the week on a Monday night.
This offense really looking polished these first couple of weeks. Here's 1st and 10.
Mahomes going to throw. Eluding the pressure right. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away, incomplete. Now that'll bring up 2nd down.
Oh, I saw this one with defensive eyes because even as he escaped the pocket and bought time, the coverage stayed tight. Nothing broke down. Throwing it away, that was his only option.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
Well, he certainly didn't like what he saw at all from the coverage on his primary reads, and he didn't even have any luck trying to get back to his safety valve. Give defense a credit. Coverage was in lockdown mode everywhere.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Now Mahomes. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Sometimes the game is pretty simple. Put a few extra defensive backs on the field, give them nowhere to throw the football, force the incompletion, and get off the field on 3rd down.
On is the punter man as he boots this one away.
And he didn't quite have the backspin on that one. It hits at the 4 and continues into the end zone. It's a touchback. The Bengals drive about to get going.
Well, still a long way to go, but trending upward. They scored the last time out, you remember. Then their defense forced the punt. Now they try to inch closer, but still ultimately down 2 scores in the final quarter.
So 1 play, and they're already just shy of midfield. A quick throw by Burrow is complete. And he'll go down inside the 45 before going out of bounds.
On 1, ready? Whoa.
Burrow going to give this to Mixon.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. Burrow looking to pass.
Got a man. It's Chase. He completes it.
And he'll be brought down with a 1st down as the tackle's made at the Chiefs' 33. Now it's Burrow. And now here's another interception.
Picked off by L'Jarius Sneed. And the Chiefs will have the football as this is taken up past the 30.
I think you and I were a little surprised back earlier in the game when he threw his 2nd interception. I mean, who would have thought a quarterback of his caliber picked now 5 times?
It's beyond stunning to me because we're used to that with maybe a quarterback with less experience or less talent. But a quarterback of his caliber, I can't believe what we've just seen.
Absolutely. If you would have told me this coming into the ball game, I would have said never, not in a million years. But here we go. A gain of 3, 2nd down. Got to figure now after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
And they're going to get this up to midfield. The passing game continues to be their friend, even with a stable lead here in the 4th, Charles. They're going back to that well.
Yeah, with their overall philosophy, you know that they trust their quarterback. He's been able to throw it well. If they continue to throw these safe passes, who can blame?
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down.
A loss of 3 on the sack made by multiple defenders.
And no matter what the situation, the O-line just hates that because they feel like they didn't protect little brother back there, right?
Man, that's just so difficult for them because just think about every single play. When you decide to throw the football, you're dealing with some of the best athletes on the planet. You talk about guys, if they weren't playing football, they'd be starring in the NBA at power forward. It's a really difficult task.
After the sack on first down, Mahomes, open man, it's the tight end Kelsey. And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals' 29-yard line. That one goes for 24 yards. So they'll come up in Bengals territory now with a 1st and 10 as they're down to the 29-yard line. Looking to throw is Mahomes. He's going to take a shot for the end zone. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. And the Bengals are right back in this football game. Now with that interception, you feel like we got a ball game again. Remember, 2-score contest and still time left here in the 4th.
And in the old days, not too long gone either. Throwing the ball here would have been an absolute no-no. But the way the game's played now, throwing it makes sense. You just have to be careful when you put it in the air.
And a quick throw here, that's complete. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll leave him with a second and just a few inches left. Now it's Burrow. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. 7 yards there and a first down. They're passing here, Joe Burrow. Throwing middle, and it's complete. And they're going to get this to about the 44-yard line. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. They will throw on first down with Burrow. Connecting on the out route here with Higgins. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Mixing up the middle. And he'll be marked down at the 26 with a gain of 7. A good run, got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. Burrow. And he's got it. Got his man on the end route. Complete. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. Now Burrow. And his throw here's incomplete.
Ooh, that's certainly not the worst thing. It stops the clock and lets your offense catch its breath and lets us exhale a little bit. Now I expect them to call a couple plays in the huddle so they're ready if a tackle happens inbounds.
They go back to the ground now with Mixon. Defensively, I think they can smell a stop. Ball right around the 5 here, brings up 3rd.
And I think what they've done is they put doubt in the minds of the offensive guys. What do we do? Because now you don't have a go-to play. Either side they pick, throwing it, running it, it won't be easy.
Here's Burrow. And this is caught for a touchdown. So hang on now. Things just got a little bit more interesting here in the final minute.
I'm not sure win-win is the proper term here, but it certainly felt like it. They got the touchdown they needed, but if I'm on the defensive side of the ball, okay, you got the touchdown, but it sure took you a long time.
Yeah, because offensively, though, you're probably hoping for a 1 to 5 play drive. That one ate up a little more time than they were hoping.
You're exactly right, and if you have that 1 to 5 play drive, you actually build up momentum and even more hope. When they had to slog their way downfield, they got the touchdown, but it's almost like, yeah, you know.
Doesn't feel right.
Exactly.
And this is going to be recovered by the hands team. And that should just about put a capper on this one. Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when...
And this is caught inside the 5. And he's across for the touchdown. And in the final minute, that should just about seal it. And the kick makes it through, but flags come flying in as well. It appears we're going to get a roughing call tacked on.
Well, things obviously not going their way. Trailing here in the fourth quarter, and that penalty going to go ahead and give the other side some extra yardage.
We all know it's an intense game and things can get heated out there. That's part of the battle. But bottom line, you got to keep your cool. That was not an example of doing that.
Here we go, here we go.
Throwing, Burrow.
Looking middle, and that's complete.
Oh, and a nice tackle, a 6-yard pickup, but they need more than that. To throw, Burrow. That's complete to Higgins. Burrow hooking up with Higgins for a Bengal first down.
And one of the whistles for a timeout. So they'll stop the clock here in a game that's been decided in the closing seconds. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They'll bring a receiver in motion right.
Burrow.
Hit as he throws there, incomplete.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
A final shot now for Burrow. On the throw, led him too much that time. It's incomplete.
Now the focus is really clear. They need to get that first down and either get out of bounds or maybe use one of those timeouts.
One final shot. They'll look to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And this is intercepted. And that should do it. Picked off by Justin Reed.
And the Chiefs come up with a late turnover. That it will probably only matter to the statisticians as this ball game is now officially over.
So this one in the win column for Kansas City. And I tell you what, I can't remember a defensive performance as good as this one. They seemingly forced turnover after turnover after turnover every time you turn around.
Yeah, you just keep going with it, can't you? After turnover, after turnover. As this game unfolded, they were doing all the dictating, right? They told the offense exactly how it was going to go down today. So you saw them deflate with every series, didn't you? Every time they ran onto the field, it was slower and slower to get to the football.